Hello friends, again welcome to my channel. Today we are going to discuss about one of the important topic from the industrial microbiology, that is the downstream processing. Now the downstream processing involves the various procedures in the actual recovery of the useful product after the completion of the fermentation process or any other process which is known as the downstream processing. This downstream processing it is an important step during the manufacture of different products within the pharmaceutical industry such as the antibiotics, hormones, antibodies, vaccines or enzymes and also within the food industry. In addition to this, the product it is either present in the cells, in the medium or within the both. That is either it is an extracellular product or the intracellular product. On the basis of that, either it is an extracellular or the intracellular product, there are the various steps these are involved within the downstream processing. The concentration of product it is generally low in either cases and it is mixed with the other molecules from which it has to be separated, and these steps for the separation these are considered to be the downstream processing. Now here within this flowsheet diagram we can observe the different steps within the downstream processing. Now either the downstream processing it is the in situ downstream processing or the ex situ downstream processing, means whenever the fermentation process it is carried out from that fermentation path, whenever we are carry out in the downstream processing it is considered to be the in situ. Whenever we are recover it and at the other sites we are carry out this process, it is considered to be the ex situ downstream processing. Now again the steps these are different for the intracellular and the extracellular product. Extracellular product these are the products which are excreted by the microbial cell outside the cell, and the intracellular which are synthesized within the microbial cells. Now for the intracellular product there is firstly there is the harvesting of the cells which is also involved within the extracellular product, that is for the separation purpose. Then within the intracellular product again there is the periplasmic product these are obtained. Then there is the cell disruption. Through the cell disruption there is the release of the intracellular product either by the centrifugation, ultrafiltration, different types of the procedures these are included within that. Within the extracellular product these extracellular products these are concentrated to get the maximum amount, and from that then there are the purification steps. Now the different purification steps involve the dialysis process, precipitation, partition chromatography, then the different chromatographic technique, either it is an ion exchange chromatography, affinity chromatography, adsorption chromatography. These different chromatographic techniques these are applied for the purpose of the purification of the product. Then there is the crystallization, drying, lyophilization, then the sterile filtration and the packaging for the getting the finished product. So all of these procedures these are involved within the downstream processing. Now here again the flow sheet for this, that is for the intracellular and the extracellular product, that is this cell disruption it is specifically for the intracellular product, and the removal of insolubles, isolation, purification and finishing these are common to both intracellular and extracellular product for getting the final product. Now firstly we are discussing about the cell harvesting, that is the separation of the microbial cells from the fermentation broth. Once there is the completion of the fermentation process, the solid phase, that is the cell biomass which we are utilized for the production of that product or getting that preferentially industrially important product, it is separated from the liquid phase, that is from the fermentation broth, by any of the following method. These are including the settling process, flotation, flocculation, filtration or the centrifugation process. These are the common methods which are utilized for the purpose of harvesting the cells, that is the for the harvesting the microbial biomass. Then the first step it is the flotation. Within this flotation process for the cell harvesting, a gas it is passed through the fermentation broth from which we want to separate out the microbial biomass. This gas responsible to form the tiny bubbles to which the microbial cells these are get adsorbed. These bubbles rise to the surface of the broth and in the form of the foam. Sometimes along with the gas the collector substances, that is the fatty acids, are also added which facilitates the foam formation, and the foam containing the cells are easily get removed. So it is an flotation process through which we can easily separate out the microbial biomass from the fermentation broth to convert this microbial biomass in the form of the floccules. Then the next process it is the flocculation. Now within the flocculation process, the high cell density some cells with the high cell density like the yeast cells aggregate and thus settle down at the bottom of the fermenter. Means these are adsorbed to each other, and due to which these are going to form the high molecular weight substances which can easily get settled down at the bottom of the fermentation broth. This process can be accelerated by the addition of the flocculating agent like that of the some type of the salts, that is the different types of the metal salts, these are added. Then the organic polyelectrolyte or the mineral hydrocolloid, this colloidal reagent, these are also added to accelerate the flocculation process. Then the next one, it is the filtration process. Now the filtration process, it is the most commonly used methodology for the separation of the biomass from the fermentation broth. The efficiency of filtration, it is totally depending upon the different factors involving the size of the organism or the size of the microbial cells that we want to separate out, then the presence of other organisms, viscosity of the medium, and the temperature. The several filters such as the depth filters, absolute filters, rotary drum vacuum filters, and the membrane filters, these are utilized for this filtration process. The first one, it is the depth filters. The depth filters, they are composed of the filamentous matrix such as the glass wool, asbestos, or the filter paper. Within this, majorly the particles, these are trapped within the matrix and the fluid passes out. The filamentous fungi can be removed by using the depth filters. Which, as we know that majorly the mycelial biomass, it contains the filaments, and these filamentous fungi can be easily separated out through the filtration process. Then the next, it is because the microbial bacterial cells, these are very much smaller in size, so majorly for that purpose different type of the filters, ultrafilters, this can be utilized for the separation of the bacterial cells. The next one, it is the absolute filters. These filters are with specific pore sizes and are smaller than that of the particles to be removed. The bacteria from the culture medium can be removed by the absolute filter. Then the next one, it is the rotary drum vacuum filters. Now these type of the filters, these are frequently used for the separation of broth containing 10 to 40% of the solids by volume and the particles in size of 0.5 to 10 micrometer. The rotary drum vacuum filters have been successfully used for the filtration of yeast cells and the filamentous fungi. The filtration unit, it consists of the rotating drum which is partially immersed in a tank of broth. Means the half portion of this drum, it is immersed or dipped within the fermentation broth. As the drum rotates, it picks up the biomass which get deposited as a cake on the drum surface, and this filter cake can be easily removed. Then the next, it is the membrane filter. In this type of the filtration, the membranes with the specific pore size can be used. However, the clogging of the filters, it is the major limitation. Means if the some type of the fermentation broth, these are containing the sticky substances within that as an byproduct, these are responsible for the clogging of the filters, which can be damage the pores which are present within the membrane filters. Then the next step, it is the centrifugation. The centrifugation, it is a technique which is based upon the principle of density differences between the particles to be separated from the medium. That means there is the differences within the molecular size of these substances. So the centrifugation, it is mostly used for the separation of solid particles from the liquid phase. At the laboratory scale, we can carry out the centrifugation process. At the large scale, we cannot prefer such type of the centrifugation process. However, in the recent year, the continuous flow industrial centrifuges have been developed, and there is a continuous feeding of the slurry and the collection of clarified fluid, while the solids deposited can be removed intermittently. Now within that, the different types of the centrifuges, these can be utilized. The first type, it is the tubular bowl centrifuge. This is a simple and the small centrifuge commonly used in the pilot plant. Tubular bowl centrifuge can be operated at a high centrifugal speed and can be run in both batch and continuous mode. The solids are removed manually. Then the disc centrifuge, it is consists of several discs that separate the ball into the settling zones, and the feed or the slurry, it is fed through the central tube, and the clarified fluid moves upward while the solids, these are settled down at the bottom. Then the multi-chamber centrifuge. This multi-chamber centrifuge, it is basically a modification of tubular bowl centrifuge. It is consists of several chambers connected in such a way that the feed flows in a zigzag fashion. There is a variation in the centrifugal forces at the different chambers. Is the variability, it is observed within each of the specific chamber, and according to that the particles with the different size, these are get settled out within these different chambers. The smaller particles, these are settled down in the outermost chamber, and the larger particles within the innermost chamber. Then the scroll centrifuge or the decanter, which is composed of a rotating horizontal ball tapered at the one end, and the decanter, it is generally used to concentrate the fluids with the high solid concentration. The biomass content, it is up to the 5 to 80%. The solids are deposited on the wall of the ball, which can be scraped and removed from the narrow end. So it is the information about how there is the separation of the microbial biomass from the fermentation broth, which is an first initial step within the downstream processing. The remaining part we will discuss within our next lectures. So if you like this video, please subscribe my channel and also share this video with your friends. Thank you.